Good morning friends. Today we are going to see some of the numericals on current electricity. How to solve the numerical problems. This is from K. Ratina Kumar, Training Associate Physics, JTUT, Bhubaneswar. The topics based on that we are going to do the numericals are this topic, that is the drift velocity. Then on the basis of this potentiometer, comparing the EMF of two cells. Then Wheatstone bridge or Kirchhoff's laws. Then internal resistance of the battery. A little example diagram shown here. Then major bridge based on that. Then combination of cells and the internal resistance of that. And also few more we are going to discuss some of the numerical problems, how to solve that. The first question is that the storage battery of a car has an EMF of 12 voltage if the internal resistance of the battery is 0.4 ohm. What is the maximum current that can be drawn from the battery? So these are the diagram of the particular problem. So you should make out the, first of all, the circuit diagram. If it is possible, you can draw by yourself. So this is the external resistance, or smaller is internal resistance is the charge. So what are the given values? First we have to take out. EMF of the battery given is E is equal to 12 voltage given. And then internal resistance of the battery R is 0.4 ohm. Then the maximum current drawn from the battery is going to be evaluated. The answer is that we know the equation EMF is equal to current and resistance. Then current is equal to EMF divided by R, internal resistance. Then substitute the value, the EMF given is 12 voltage, then the internal resistance 0.4. Then it will be 12 by 0.4 is equal to 30 ampere. So the maximum current drawn from the given battery is 30 ohm. This is a simple problem you can able to do. Then next, a battery of EMF 10 voltage and internal resistances 3 ohm is connected to a resistor. If the current in the circuit is 0.5 ampere, what is the resistance of the resistor and what is the terminal voltage of the battery when the circuit is closed? The answer is given here. EMF of the battery is given. I told you that, as I told you, the given values must be taken out. 10 voltage, internal resistance is given 3 ohm, then current in the circuit is 0.5 ampere, the resistance of the resistor is value to be found, that is R. The relation for the current using the Ohm's law is that capital I, current is equal to EMF divided by the total resistance in the circuit, here R plus small r. Then R plus small r is equal to E by I, that is EMF divided by the current. Replace the equation, then the substitute the values, you can find out the value for the external resistance capital R. So 10 by 0.5 is equal to 20 ohm, then R is equal to 20 minus 3, which is equal to 17 ohm. The terminal voltage of the resistor is equal to be, according to Ohm's law, voltage is equal to current into resistance. So substitute the value 0.5 into the 17 external resistance given, 17 ohm. then on multiplying 8.5 voltage you are getting. This is therefore the resistance of the resistor is 17 ohm and the terminal voltage is 8.5. The terminal voltage is, it is not in the battery, it is when it is in circuit is closed, then that time the EMF message across the resistor is the terminal voltage. Then next question, determine the current in each branch of the network shown in figure. So this is a Wheatstone bridge, everybody know that this is a familiar one, and the value given A, B, C, D, and here the 10 ohm, 5 ohm and the 100 ohm and the 5 ohm. So between B and D this is a 5 ohm given. Then let us see the equivalent circuit or equivalent drawn. The current answer means the current flowing through various branches of the circuit is represented in the given. Okay, that the current will be as per the Kirchhoff's law. Then the current is divided here, the branches I1, I2. Then here I2 minus I1. Then here I4. And here this is the branches coming here. They all together added here. So I3 plus I4. This one which comes I3. So that is added up. And here it goes I3 plus I2 plus I1. Then let's see this equation. And each and every branches according to the Kirchhoff's law we have to find. I1 current flowing through the outer circuit and I2 current flowing through the branch AB and I3 current flowing through the branch AD. Then I2 minus I1 current flowing through the branch BC. So each and every branches I should let you know how this current is distributed. So then I3 plus I4 is the current flowing through the branch BC and I3 plus I4 current flowing through the branch CD. So here it is a B is not mentioned here. So I4 is equal to current flowing through the branch BD. So this will be at this 2 points, the potential will be the same, therefore no current will flow through that. Let us see according to the Kirchhoff's law and the Wheatstone bridge balancing condition. Let's see. So for the closed circuit A, B, D, A, this branch. So the current according to this circuitous law or the Kirchhoff's second law, then we can start it from here. Current into, it is a voltage resistance and the current, the product of the current and resistance equal to the EMF in the circuit. Let's see here ABDA. So 10 into I2 is going clockwise plus 5 into I4. Then it becomes a direction is opposite direction. Therefore, minus 5 into I3 is written here. Then simplify this one by all 5 for this. So 5 can be reduced. Then 2I2 plus I4 minus I1, I3 is equal to 0. At this equation, I3 is equal to I2 plus I4. Equation number 1 we can take it. Then for the closed circuit BCDB. So that potential is 0. There is no battery, that is why potential 0. Here also the same. So in this loop BCDB. So this is first one, 5 into I2 minus I4 minus opposite direction coming. We are going to clockwise. So minus 10 into I3 plus I4, this one. Then again opposite direction. So minus I into I4. 5 into I4 which is equal to 0. No, there is no EMF or any batteries connected. Then simplify this one. So separate it. 5I2 plus 5I4 minus 10I3 minus 10I4 is equal to 5I4. So which is to be eliminated or subtracted. which is common, that you can see that afterwards. So 5I2 minus 10I3 minus 10I3, then minus 20I4. So here also my I4 is there, I4. So all are, these are all minus minus. So 15. Then here also should come minus, therefore it's 20I4, that is equal to 0. So therefore I2 is equal to 2I3 plus 4I4. That by dividing 5 we have taken this one. So let us take this equation 1 and 2. Then for the third circuit, closed circuit, A, B, C, F, E, A. A, B, C, F, E, A. This one. Okay. The whole. So let us start from this AB. Minus 10 plus 10 into I1, then plus 10 into I2, here 10 I1 plus 10 I1 plus 10 I2, see the diagram, plus 5 into I2 minus I4 is equal to 0. And here this, simplify this equation, 10 is equal to 15 I2 plus 15, 10 I1 minus 5 I4. So it has derived from here, then dividing by 5, then 3, and simplifying 3 I2 plus 2 I1 minus I4 is that this 10 is the voltage is equal to the EMF in the circuit, that is equal to 2. Let us take these three equations and solve that. Solving the three equations, we can get I3 is equal to 2 into 2I3 plus 4I4 plus I4. Taking these three equations, then we can bring it here. Then I3 is equal to 4I3 plus 8I4 plus I4. Simply multiplying and separated. So 3 into I3 minus 3 into I3 is equal to 9I4 from here. So this will become 9. So minus 3I4 is equal to plus I3. Let us take this as the fourth equation. Then putting equation 4 in each equations, we obtain I3 is equal to 2 into I2 plus I4. Then minus 4I4 is equal to 2I2. Then I2 will become minus 2 into I4. Let us take this equation 5. So it is evident from the given figure, the I1 is equal to I3 plus I2. So substituting the equation 6 in the equation 1, the previous one, then we will getting 3 into I2. Better you take this notebook and see that, note it down and you can verify. 3 into I2 plus 2 into I3 plus I2, bracket close, minus I4 is equal to 2. On substituting the equation 6 in 1. Then 5I2 simplifying, plus 2I3 minus I4 is equal to 2 from the above equation. Let us take it 7. So putting the equation, the previous one 5 and 4, 5 and 7, this we obtain the equation simplified 5 into minus 2I4 by the close plus 2 into minus 3I4 minus I4 is equal to 2. So on simplifying, we can get minus 10I4 minus 6I4 minus I4 is equal to 2. So bringing that in the, replace the equation, you will be getting minus all 5 4s, then 10, 6, 1, 17 I4 is equal to minus 2. Therefore, I4 is equal to minus 2 by 17. So on adding that currents, I1 is equal to I3 plus I2. Let us substitute the equation 6 by 17 plus 4 by 17 is equal to 10 by 17. So before from the equation 4 reduced, I3 is minus 3 into I4. I4 is already 2 by 17, minus 2 by 17, substituted and divided. So this is I2 is equal to 2 into I4 and minus 2 by 17, substituting, and you are getting 4 by 14, and I2 minus I4 is equal to, on substitution we will be getting 6 by 17a. Then I3 plus I4 is equal to 6 by 17 plus minus 2 by 17 bracket close, that is 4 by 17 ampere. So that current in that branch A and B is 4 by 17 A. So in branch BD minus 2 by A, and total current will be added all these, we are getting the 10 by 17. So adding all the currents in that, then we will be getting 10 by 17 ampere. So this is a typical problem. Unless you practice again and again, you will not get this idea or the easy to solve the equations. The next, this is the meter bridge circuit diagram apparatus. In this equation, question in a meter and a meter bridge, the given figure, the balance point is found to be at 39.5 cm from the end A. Then when the resistor Y is of 12.5 ohm, XY, they determine the resistance of X. So there is unknown resistance. Why are the connection between resistor in a Wheatstone or meter bridge made of thick copper strips? So in this one, to answer the question, the next determine the balance point of the bridge above if X and Y are interchanged. What happens if the galvanometer and the cell are interchanged at the balance point of the bridge? Would the galvanometer shows any current? Let's see that. Answer: a meter bridge with resistance X and Y is represented in the given figure X and Y. Then first one, the question A meter bridge with resistor balance point of the end A, this side. Let us take L1 is equal to this value given 39.5, given value as per the instruction you have to take and write here that given values. Suppose the answer is wrong, the given value if returned or some of the marks may be credited for you. So next, the resistance of the resistor Y is equal to 12.5, balance for first given 12.5 ohm. The condition for the balance is given by X by Y is equal to 100 minus L1 by L1. This is the equation of balance condition of the meter bridge or Wheatstone bridge. Meter bridge is based on the principle of Wheatstone bridge. Then X is equal to, on substituting 100 minus 39.5 divided by 39.5 into 12.5 ohm. Therefore, the resistance of resistor X is 8.2. That unknown resistance can be found out. The connection between the resistor and the Wheatstone bridge or meter bridge is made of thick copper strips to minimize the resistance, which is not taken into consideration in the bridge formula. If X and Y are interchanged, then L1 and 100 minus L1 get interchanged. So the balance point of the bridge will be 100 minus L1 from A, and that is equal to 100 minus 39.5, 60.5 centimeter. Therefore, the balance point is 60.5 centimeter from the A. If it interchanged, the remaining amount will come. When the C question, when the galvanometer and the cell interchanged at the balancing point of the bridge, the galvanometer will show that no deflection, hence no current will be flow through the galvanometer as per the condition of the Wheatstone bridge. So this is the next one is the potentiometer. This diagram shows you that the two E1, E2, that is two cells are connected. That means a comparison of the EMF of the two cells. Let's see this. In a potentiometer arrangement, a cell of EMF 1.25 voltage gives a balance point at 335.0 centimeter length of the wire. If the cell is replaced by another cell and the balance point shifts to the 63.0, what is the EMF of the second cell? The simple equation. So first of all, given the values EMF of the cell E1 is equal to 1.25 voltage, balance point potentiometer L1 35 centimeter, and the cell is replaced by another cell of E2. New balance point of the potentiometer L2 is 63 centimeter. Then the simple equation, the balance condition is given by the relation E1 by E2 is equal to L1 by L2. So it is equal to the simply the null point of the first one and the second one. Then E2 is a required equation. E2 is equal to the EMF of the second one is equal to EMF of the first one into L2 by L1. Replace the equation, which is substituting the values 1.25 in 1063 divided by 35, which gives you the 2.25 voltage. Therefore, EMF of the second cell is 2.25 voltage. Then next we can go through that. This diagram shows you that the current carrying conductor, how these electrons are moving inside it. It has the drift velocity moving inside the electric field applying from external agents. So the question is that the number density of the free electron in copper conductor estimated in example 3.1 is, that is the question we have taken, 8.5 in 10 power 28 meter minus 3, that is meter per millimeter. How long does an electron take to drift from one end of a wire 3.0 meter long to its other end? The area of cross section of the wire is 2.0 in 10 power minus 6 meter square, and it is carrying a current of 3.0 ampere. Let's see the answer. The number density of free electrons in a copper conductor is N is equal to 8.5 in 10 power 28 meter power minus 3 is given. The length of the copper wire is 3 meter, and the area of cross section of the wire is 2.0 in 10 power minus 6 meter square. Then current carrying by the wire I is equal to 3.0 ampere, which is given by the relation I is equal to N, A, E and V drift velocity, and its number of charge carriers. A is the area cross section, is a charge, and the drift velocity. On substituting the value, we can find out that already we know that electric charge is 1.6 in 10 power minus 19 coulomb. Then is the drift velocity. Then the equation we can take I is equal to N into AE L by T. And because the velocity is written here in terms of the distance and the time. So we want the time only, therefore that equation is replaced. So time is equal to, as per this one, replace that remaining. I will come here. The current, just we want the time only. So therefore, on substituting the values of the given values, then time is found that 2.7 10 power 4 second. N is given, what are the given values? Substituting and simplifying, you are getting 2.7 into 10 power 4 second. Then another question. The Earth's surface has negative surface charge density of 10 power minus 9 coulomb per meter square. The potential difference of 400 kilowatt between the top of the atmosphere and the surface results due to the low conductivity of the lower atmosphere. In a current of only 1800 ampere over the entire globe, if there were no mechanism of sustaining atmospherical electric field, how much time roughly would be required to neutralize the Earth's surface? This is never happens in practice because there is a mechanism to replace electric charges, namely the continuous thunderstorm and lightning in the different parts of the globe. The radius of the Earth is 6.37 10 power minus 6 meter. The answer is surface charge density of the Earth sigma is 10 power minus 9 coulomb per meter square. Then the current over the entire globe is given I is equal to 1800 ampere. Surface area of the Earth is 4 pi r square. Radius of the Earth is given r is equal to 6.37 10 power 6. Already we know that. And on substituting the area Then you will be getting answer 4.86.37 into 10 power 6 the whole square. 5.09 in 10 power 14 meter square you are getting. So charge on the surface Q is equal to sigma into A. Sigma is equal to charge density. So that on substituting 10 per minus 9 given value and 5.09 found 10 per 14 give you 5.09 10 per 5 coulomb. Then time taken to neutralize the Earth's surface T is equal to I is equal to Q by T. Then T is equal to Q by I and substituting this to value 5.09 10 per 5 divided by 1100 you are getting 282.77 second. Therefore, the time taken to neutralize the Earth's surface required time is 282.77 second required. The next determine the current drawn from the 12 voltage battery with internal resistance 0.5 ohm by the infinite network shown in the figure. Each resistance has 1 ohm resistance as on the diagram. Okay, all are connected here series and in between the resistors are connected. What is the answer? The resistance of each resistance connected in the given circuit R is equal to 1 ohm. Equal resistance of the given circuit diagram is characteristic R dash. The network is infinite, hence equal resistance is given by the relation R is equal to 2 plus R by R plus 1. Then R square is equal to minus 2R is equal to minus 2 is equal to 0. Then by factorization we can get the equation answer equal to 1 plus or minus root 3. The negative value of R dash cannot be accepted, hence equivalent resistance is taken as say 2.73 ohm. Internal resistance of the circuit is given 0.5 ohm. Hence total resistance of given circuit is equal to adding these two 3.23 ohms coming, these two added. Then supply voltage is 12 voltage. According to Ohm's law, current drawn from the source is given by the ratio 12 by 3.23 is equal to 3.72 ampere. The next question, then figure shows a 2.0 voltage potentiometer and used for the determination of internal resistances of a 1.5 voltage cell. The balance point of the cell is open is 76.3 centimeter when resisted 9.5 ohm is used in the external circuit of the cell. The balance point shift to 64.8 centimeter length of the potentiometer wire. Determine the internal resistance of the cell. So we know the equation, then write down the given equation values. Sorry. Previous one. Internal resistance of cell is equal to R. Balance point of the cell is open circuit. I1 given 76.3 centimeter. And external resistance R is connected to the circuit. R is equal to 9.5 ohm. New balance point is 64.8. That is L2. Current flowing through the circuit is I. By the relation of the internal resistance by the potentiometer is given R is equal to L1 minus L2 divided by L2 into R. Then substituting 76.3 minus 64.8 divided by 64.8 into 9.5, 1.68 ohm you are getting. So this is the internal resistance of the given cell as per this diagram. So before doing the numerical problem, you have to draw the circuit diagram as well as the given values and the formula and actual substitution and simplification. You will get the result and you can get the full marks. The procedure is followed. Then the last important formula are given here. You can go through the electrical current, frequency of the revolution, Ohm's law, current in the term of drift velocity, resistance, resistivity, conductance 1 by R, conductivity 1 by rho, the current density L by A, relation between the density and electric field I is sigma E, and mobility V is equal to velocity by electric field, temperature coefficient, then equivalent total resistance series and parallel connection, then EMF of a cell, electric field is work done by charge potential, and then internal resistance of the EMF, terminal potential, then terminal potential when circuit is drawn from the cell, E minus IR, terminal potential difference, E plus IR, the internal resistance, and the cells in series and parallel combination, heat produced by the current I square RT, worked by joules, and electrical power V square by R, electrical energy I square RT, potential gradient V by L or dV by dr. Comparing the EMF of two cell E1 by E2, L2 by L1, then internal resistance L1 minus L2 by L2 into R, then P by Q is equal to R by X, unknown resistance from the resistance bridge, and the balance condition P by Q is equal to R by X into L by 100 minus L. Thank you for watching. I hope that you might have learned something from this our whole thing. You can use it, go for the further practice, and unless the practice you cannot do or get the idea for solving the problems. Thank you for my image. The reference NCERT textbook class 12th physics, and I hope that you will be able to do that numerical problems easily. Thank you very much. Thank you once again.